Alright, so I'm back. It looks like the application downloaded successfully this time. So maybe this wasn't working for the first 20 minutes. I apologize to anybody that wanted to join this class. I hope it works now. This is the idioms class I've been doing in the past, but today, like I said before, we're talking about food, and I'm going to share the document I've been using. These are some of the idioms we've already gone through. Gone over. I'm going to review them right now. Bad apple is the first one. The one after that is big cheese. These are two titles we use for people that bad apple is a troublemaker. Big cheese is an important person, okay? Or a boss or something. So those are positive and a negative way to call people. This is a more complex one that we went over. Bite off more than you can chew. To do more than you can manage. So a lot of times at work or something, you say, I definitely bit off more than I can chew today. I barely finished anything. Bread and butter. This was the example I used. Okay, very common one. All right, we know it well, and the bread and butter is something that you know and you're comfortable with. It's used in sports with people with maybe your bread and butter in basketball is the 3-point shot or something. It's something that you're comfortable with and you do well. And then the last one we went through was bring home the bacon, okay? Recently I've been working hard to bring home the bacon to earn a living. All right? So I'm going to keep going down the list here. So again, the idea of this class is to get used to understanding expressions, okay? What I do is I give you an expression and you listen to it and try to understand it. And then we go over the definition. And some of them you'll find more useful than others, but like I said, I choose ones that are used very frequently. All right. I really like this next one. Butter someone up. Butter up someone. So this is actually a phrasal verb, but it's butter is not a common verb, but it's similar structure as a phrasal verb because you have to put the person or the object. This is in this case it's a person, and it's separable. So you could either put them in the middle or at the end. All right. And remember the rules for this. In the middle, you can use pronouns or specific, but at the end, you can never use pronouns. So I can't say butter up me, butter up him. No, I have to say butter up Johnny, butter up the boss. It has to be specific at the end. In the middle, you can put in specific person or a pronoun. Okay. So let's listen to a good example here. The man spends much time trying to butter up his boss so that he will not have to work so hard. All right, I'll put this one in here. He's buttering up his boss. So this is what I was saying. A very common one is to butter up a boss. So what do you think? Yeah, if he's so we look around at the words around, he will not have to work so hard. Okay, so that means he's going to be nice to his boss. Yeah. So it's a little more specific than that, though. And he spends time buttering up his boss. So from this, you can kind of get the idea of they're trying to win over their boss. They're trying to make them like them, be nice to them. Specifically, flatter, which this isn't a common word. You might not understand flatter, but flatter means to be nice, to try to win them over, to make them like you, to flatter. Make them feel good. That's what it is. Okay? Flatter is to make someone feel good about themselves. Alright, so you're trying to get their friendship or their favor. So at work, you can get the boss's favor just by buttering them up. Alright. Here's another one. So these aren't just about food, they're anything dealing with food. Catch can't stomach something or someone. Alright. Can't stomach it. Check this out. There's actually a very similar one. Think about fixing this one. Cannot stomach the idea of meeting my old girlfriend. So there's another thing that's similar to this, but this is a perfect example using this. Cannot stomach it. So when you meet your old girlfriend, you think it's gonna be a good experience? Well, we know it's negative just by cannot. But do you think it's gonna be a good experience? Do you think you want to meet the old girlfriend in this case? Nope, they're not looking forward to this. This is not something that they want to do. Alright? So they don't like the idea, right? This is what we get out of this example. To dislike or hate someone or something, or in this case, it's a situation. Something or situation. Alright. So in this case, it's a situation, and you could maybe even compare it to another one we say is can't stand. And we could use it here, but I like stomach. It really puts a visual in this expression. Is when when you do something you don't like, sometimes you feel it in the stomach. You get that empty or butterfly feeling, and it's uncomfortable. So it's a great visual feeling of not wanting to do something. Hate someone, I don't necessarily use it for hating someone. I can't stomach them. No. I'm actually going to take this definition out because I think it's more to do with things or situations. Because this is the idea of meeting the old girlfriend. It doesn't necessarily say you hate them. It's saying you dislike the idea of meeting them again, okay, or seeing them. All right, good. Let's keep going here. This is a really, really common one. Most English learners learn this in a lot of textbooks. When I've taught, I've definitely, when you get to that level 1 or 2, basic, lower intermediate, you're going to hear this one, couch potato. Alright, my cousin is a couch potato and he never wants to leave the house. He watches TV and sits on the couch. And that's exactly what it is, okay? So, I've used this since I was a child, and it's the fun one to call people. If someone's being really lazy, you say, "Hey, stop being a couch potato, and let's do something." Yeah. Someone who spends a lot of time on a couch watching television. I'm sure now with the culture with television that's been going on for years now. We were bound to have this expression. Alright, let's keep going. I really like this one. It's different. It's cream of the crop. I'm going to tell you right now, it's similar to the big cheese, but has a different feel to it. Alright. A company is always able to hire the cream of the crop of university graduates. So big cheese is one person. This is crop. It insinuates a group, okay? The cream of the group. Alright, so a company is always able to hire the cream of the crop of university graduates. So not the big cheese. It's important, not important, but it's more of the best. A little different. It's the best of a group, the top choice. And this can be used for not just people, but for things. This is the cream of the crop. This technology right here. Okay, it's the best. It's the top choice. All right, this next one, I use it all the time. Actually, it's one of the ones that always come up in conversation with me. Not one's cup of tea. I really like this one. So, here's the example. Going to art galleries is not my cup of tea, so I think that I'll stay home this evening. All right. So we have negative here. This is always a key. Always, right? It's in the actual expression, not one's cup of tea. I'd never really say this is my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. Yeah. It's definitely used negative nearly all the times, or I've never used it positive. I can't think of an example. Um, so we know it's negative. Going to art galleries. I think I'll stay home this evening. So we know that you don't want to go to this art gallery. So what does that mean? It's not my cup of tea. I'll give you another example. Maybe you'll be able to get it too. Let's see. Giving presentations is not my cup of tea, but I'll do it anyways. Saying it's not my cup of tea. It's not something that I maybe do well, but I will do it anyways. All right. So it's not something you enjoy or do well. It's usually used in negative. Whenever you're doing something, you're like, oh, this isn't my cup of tea. Yeah. It's kind of admitting that you're not very good at it, and you don't really enjoy it. So it's a great way to kind of express that if you don't want to do something, okay, at work or something. It kind of shows that maybe you're not qualified and someone else could do it better. But you're not degrading yourself too much. You're just saying, hey, it's not my thing. It's another way of saying it's not my thing. Okay. And I think it's fine to admit that. It's a better way than saying I'm not good at it. It's just saying, hey, I'm better at other things. It's not my thing. Okay, so that's why I use it a lot. Kind of just helps me admit something I don't want to do and I'm not good at without saying that directly. All right. Let's keep going here. Eat and run. This is another one. I really like this one. I know they have this expression in other languages. In Spanish, guarantee. To eat a meal, then quickly leave. I had to eat and run in order to be on time for my class. Right. Another quick one here. Eat one's words. I like this one. You can really imagine this one, okay? Eat my words. So why would I say eat my words? I told my boss that I would soon quit my job, but later I had to eat my words and tell him that I wanted to stay. So you said you would quit your job, but then you stayed. It's very, very straightforward. It might be, and the thing is, when you listen to these, you don't have to translate it or anything. You don't have to. You just have to understand the meaning. You understand it just by hearing the words around it. And this is, I think, clear as day. Eat your words. So you take back something that you said. You have to admit you said something that's not true. Okay. Put this in here. All right, good. Is another one, and it's funny because you never even think of it as a food. Egg someone on or egg on someone. I heard this since I was a child, but I never knew it was actually the food egg until I started teaching. I always thought it was egg. I used to drag the pronunciation egg someone on, but it's egg. You egg them on. All right. So let's see this example. The boys egged their friend on to jump into the water. My friend egged me on to go out to the club. I was not in the mood. I was not feeling like doing it, but he egged me on and I did it. So there's a couple ways of saying this. Egg someone on. So he didn't want to jump in the water, right? The boys encouraged him to do it. Egged him on. Often something bad or wrong or dangerous, right? Or something you just don't want to do. But this is really take this. This is important for using this sometimes. You can't just say anything. You egg them on. You egg them on to do something they don't want to do because of these reasons. Okay? Good. Alright, this is that one you remember back earlier in this class. Let's go back to it. This is one can't stomach. You remember I deleted eats. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Which one is it? This one. Bite off more than you can chew. It says to try to do or eat more than you can manage. But I said, I don't use this on the dinner table. I use this more about doing something. I'm biting off more than I can chew. I'm doing more than I can manage. I'm going to give you this other one. Actually, I'll leave it right next to this one. Eyes are bigger than my stomach. You can truly visualize this. I'm not even going to let you give a chance to guess it. You already know the meaning based on this last one. But it's more used for the dinner table. Man, my eyes are bigger than my stomach. I didn't finish hardly anything. The amount of food that one takes is greater than they could possibly eat. Alright, my eyes are bigger than my stomach and I took too much food at the buffet. Big time. Buffets are common times where our eyes are bigger than our stomach. Good. So those are two that are very similar but used in different, similar in meaning but used in different contexts. Okay? Bite off more than you can chew. Eyes are bigger than your stomach. I'm going to do a few more here, okay? Food for thought. Alright. The advice from the bank manager was food for thought when I made my financial plan. So, you kind of think about it as this is what you're thinking, and it's kind of food, obviously stimulates things, so you're stimulating thinking. So it's something that provides mental stimulation. Good. Couple more here. Go bananas. What do you think that is? Another expression we say that's a little similar to this. What else can you go? You go bananas, you go... It's kind of another way of saying you go crazy. But not like crazy mental institute crazy. Alright? Let's read this example here. The girl went bananas when her boyfriend forgot to buy her a birthday present. So she behaved in a crazy way. She became highly excited, possibly negative, or positive. You can do both. I went bananas when I found out I was going on vacation to I won a vacation. There's so many of them, guys. Here's another one that's good for work. Have a lot on my plate. Like my dinner plate. I have a lot on my plate. Yeah, this week I am very busy. That's exactly what it means. You have a lot of stuff to do. A lot on your plate. All right. I really like this one as well. In a nutshell. I actually, one time I taught this to one of my students, and I actually didn't think they would ever hear it, to tell you the truth here. They're not living in a native country speaking English. So I didn't think they would ever hear it, but in their business, they have meetings with, native speakers, and they actually said they heard this in an everyday conversation. So I was very happy I taught them, and they understood it in a nutshell. So let's go over this one. We went to the meeting and they told us in a nutshell about the plans for our company. I'm going to even help you a little bit more. They quickly told us in a nutshell. Quickly, this is key. Yeah, if you tell something quickly, it's briefly in a few words. It's like a summary, okay? It's another way of saying this is a summary. So I could say, this is something I say. If I have a long story to tell, I say, well, so sometimes people are like, so why are you teaching? Well, in a nutshell, I really enjoyed my experiences, blah, 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 blah. You try to you're kind of preparing them that, hey, this is not going to be a long story. It's going to be brief. Okay. Excellent. And I'm going to keep two more here, all right? In a pickle. So we got in a nutshell. Might as well change the food to in a pickle, right? Pickle, is that a good or bad thing? The boy was in a pickle when he lost his keys to the school cupboard. What was he going to do? He was in a pickle. Is that a good situation? No. It's a bad situation. If you're in a pickle, you're kind of in trouble. You're in a mess. This is the last one I'm going to go over today. Taking candy from a baby. I love this one. I asked the department store to refund the money for my goods, and they agreed. It was like taking candy from a baby. So it sounds like from this context, I understood from persuasion, yes? Like taking candy from a baby. I asked the department store to refund my money. No problems. They agreed. It was like taking candy from a baby. So was this difficult? The complete opposite. Alright? Very easy to do. Alright, excellent. So let's keep going here. We've gone through a lot, but since no one's participating, I'm going to do a few more because I see that I have a few viewers, and if you guys want to learn something today, that's great. So I'm going to keep going through a few more to give you guys some explanations. Like two peas in a pod. I use this one a lot. Everyone know what a pea pod is? Two peas in a pod. I use this one, and I use it as a joke when people are getting along very well. All right. So I'm going to give you one example, and then I'll explain it a little better. The sisters are like two peas in a pod, and they do everything together. All right. So one of the things I love doing is introducing people together, and if they get along, we all know this, to get along. It's one of those phrasal verbs that are very important. Along with someone. Yeah, it means you like each other. And yeah, it's a very natural, yeah, that's how I'll express it, a very natural relationship. Alright? So when you get along, yeah, it's great. So if I have two people I introduce and then they're just instantly best buddies, they love hanging out with each other and they're always together. I say, man, they're like two peas in a pod. Or if there's just two people that I know and they just seem like they're perfect for each other, this is the perfect way to say, man, they're like two peas in a pod. Yeah. So I really like using this one when you see that relationship, and it's funny. It's definitely kind of some people definitely do a little chuckle when you say that one. All right, few more here. Meal ticket. My dad used to tell me this one all the time when I was younger. A meal ticket. So the woman's nursing degree is her meal ticket to a flexible and good life. Dad always used to tell me that I have to find my meal ticket. I have to find a woman that can support me. Yeah? So the woman's nursing degree is her meal ticket. So what does that mean? A thing, I just said person, but this is a thing, a nursing degree. So it can be a thing or a person, right? We know that. A flexible and good life. So what do you need? You need money, and you need something that's gonna get you by, right? So this is what it means. Thing or person that someone uses to get the money that they need to live. It's a ticket to food. Pretty much that's what it means. All right. Ooh, got a couple more here. Put all one's. Wait. Sorry. I'm gonna paste this one first. All right. Put all one's eggs in one basket. This is a pretty common one, actually. And I'm gonna give you a hint. It's used in investing. So think about this in investing. Do you want to put all your eggs in one basket or no? Usually no, because well, you you can tell me, but I do not want to put all my eggs in one basket and only invest money in real estate. I want to disperse my money in multiple investments. Yeah, so you don't want to put all. It's usually negative. Yeah, it's a good way to give advice to people. Yeah, I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. Yeah, you shouldn't put your eggs in one basket. You don't want to risk everything at once. Essentially, it's to risk everything. So it can be with investments. It could also be other contexts, but usually with investments and how to use your money. So if you have one bank, you're putting all your eggs in one basket because all your money's in that one bank. A lot of people like to have multiple banks. All right. Wow, I got a lot of good ones here. We're almost getting through my list. We're getting through a lot of them here, so I'm gonna keep going. Small potatoes. This is a good one. Small potatoes. The amount of money for the stadium is small potatoes compared to the total cost of the Olympics. You're comparing stadium is small potatoes compared to something big, right? The cost of the Olympics is incredible. So just a small stadium, it's minor. It's nothing, right? So you can just get it from understanding that. Small potatoes, something not very big or important compared with other things or people. So maybe if you're in a sports team and you're playing them, and your team is very great organization and you have a big reputation and you're really good, you're undefeated, yeah, and you're playing this small town guys and they're small potatoes. They're not very big or important compared to the big team that you play for. Or if it's not a big deal, it's another way of saying it's just not a big. It's not a big deal. I'm not worried. Like, wow, we got this big presentation to do, and then you're like, that's small potatoes, it's nothing, it's not a big deal. All of that done in no time. All right, I like this one. This might be very American, I feel, but anybody ever seen Pimp My Ride? Television show? Pimp My Ride. My neighbor decided to soup up his car. Soup it up. What do you think that means? Did he improve it? Did he make it worse? Did he actually pour soup in the car? No. It's to make it faster, more powerful by changing or adding something. It's often used with the car. You can soup up a computer. There's a lot of things you can soup up. A lot of technology and stuff like that. So definitely, definitely good. You can say you can soup something up. And again, this is soup up something or soup something up. It's can be separated. All right, it's separable. So we know at the end it has to be specific. I'm going to soup up my car. But here we could say I'm going to soup my car up, or I could say I'm going to soup it up. Use a pronoun. All right. Let me put the definition here for you. All right, whoosh. I've got three more. We're going to be able to get through all of them today. This is great. So sugarcoat something. Sugarcoat. I like this one. You're in trouble, you want to sugarcoat it. So let's see the example. The government tried to sugarcoat the new policy, but nobody was happy with it. So you know they're trying to make something sound better than it really is. Let's look here. Make something that is unpleasant seem more pleasant to coat something with sugar. This is literal, to coat something with sugar, but yeah, to make something that is unpleasant seem more pleasant. Yeah. Uh, you know, they try. You can sugarcoat almost any situation that if it's a bad situation, you can sugarcoat it. Maybe if you have bad news, like I really sugarcoated the reason for firing this guy. You know, I really made it sound better than it really was. I was not direct. Okay. And the last one. Take something with a grain of salt. Alright. Here's the example. This is probably a complex one that you can't understand too well without an example. You should take everything that the supervisor says with a grain of salt because he likes to exaggerate things. So if he likes to exaggerate things, do you think you should believe him? Hmm? Think you should take him seriously? Exactly. You should not take him too seriously. All right? Not to take something that someone has said seriously. Take it with a grain of salt. It's very useful. You got to find the right time to use it, but it's well used in everyday conversation, especially in business. So yep, take everything with a grain of salt. So when I say you got to remember all of these and study these really hard, take it with a grain of salt, please. Don't take that seriously. But what you can do is research some of these, and they're definitely used. So I hope if you are listening, some of these you'll hear someday, and you'll say, "Hey, this is no problem. I've heard this before," and you're a little more comfortable with it. Also, just take a few that you like and try to use them. Try to think of a situation. that you will actually use some of these. And then if you use them, you won't forget them. That's the way it works. Right? You get that emotional stimulation that will help you remember and use these again. Right? So find some that you really like and give them a shot. Definitely try to use them in your own conversation someday, and it'll be fun. It definitely spices up. I guess I could end with that. Idioms are a great way to spice up what you say in everyday conversations. So for those that have been watching, I appreciate it, and I hope that next time you can participate. Everyone, thanks, and have a great day, and hope to see some of you soon. Bye.